Indira Gandhi National Tribal University is a central university located in district Anuppur, Madhya Pradesh, India. The university was established in 2007 by an Act of Parliament, Government of India, with an objective of educational, social and economic development of tribal communities across the country, especially in this region. Science for Equity, Empowerment and Development Division, Department of Science and Technology, DST-SEED, sanctioned a research project on multiplex real-time PCR-based rapid detection of sexually transmitted pathogens in tribal women of district Anuppur, Madhya Pradesh for improving public health. To myself, Professor Poonam Sharma, Department of Zoology, Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Amarkantak, Madhya Pradesh. The major objectives of the project were to establish networking with the local health agencies, PHCs, CHCs, district hospitals for disseminating information about the prevalent strains of microorganisms and use of appropriate antibiotics. Nucleic acid amplification test-based detection of microorganisms responsible for STI among tribal women of Anuppur district. To create awareness among tribal population for maintaining hygienic practices, routine screening of STIs, and strictly following treatment guidelines. More than 1 million STIs are acquired worldwide every day. Socio-economic status and cultural practices in societies plays a significant role in transmission of STIs among human population. High prevalence of STIs have been reported among members of closely woven societies, especially ethnic groups. STDs are widely prevalent among tribal women in India due to various social and cultural practices. The STDs are often associated with acute urinogenital problems such as cervicitis, urethritis, vaginitis, genital ulceration, and increased risk of HIV infection. These conditions adversely affect the quality of life of a woman. The most prevalent pathogens in sexually transmitted infections are Neisseria gonorrhoeae, Chlamydia trachomatis, Trichomonas vaginalis, Mycoplasma genitalium, Mycoplasma hominis, Uraplasma urolaticum, Uraplasma parvum, and herpes simplex virus 1 and 2. One major problem associated with STIs is that once infected, about 80% women remain asymptomatic and largely left untreated. The undiagnosed infections facilitate transmission of causative organism to their sexual partner as well as make the patient vulnerable to other STIs. Incorrect treatment due to similar symptoms by different microbes further complicates the disease management by syndromic approach as it can result in misdiagnosis. As a consequence, the patient is not treated for the existing infection, rather over-treated for some other pathogen. This has long-term consequences and it contributes towards antibiotic resistance. It is postulated that Neisseria gonorrhoeae and Chlamydia trachomatis can be a cause of silent epidemic, hence there is urgent need for screening, early, rapid, accurate diagnosis and treatment of cases. Culturing of bacteria has been gold standard for their identification and disease management. However, the culture of STIs is often difficult as these fastidious microorganisms require specific media and supplements. Polymerase chain reaction has been developed as a rapid and sensitive method for detection of STIs. Multiplex real-time PCR-based detection provides opportunity of simultaneous detection of many organisms in a clinical sample of STIs. For assessing the clinical samples for the tribal population, networking was established with the district hospital, CHC and PHC through the Chief Medical Officer of District Anuppur, and MOU was established with Birsa Minda Medical College, Shadol for effective implementation of the project activities and collection of clinical samples. A total of 384 samples were collected from tribal women, symptomatic for STIs, and visiting the OPDs of various health setups in the district. Out of which, 218, that is 56.77%, were culture positive and 166, that is 43.22%, were culture negative. A total of 110 samples were analyzed by RT-PCR, out of which 94 samples were PCR positive and 16 samples were PCR negative. There were about 18 combinations of STI pathogens found in PCR reactions of 94 swab samples. Individual prevalence of STI pathogens were calculated based on the results of combinations of bacteria. The results indicated Mycoplasma hominis as a most prevalent strain, account in 74, that is 78.72% samples, Uriplasma urulaticum in 65, Uriplasma parvum in 37, Trichomonas vaginalis in 18, herpes simplex virus 1 and 2 in 15, Neisseria gonorrhea in 9, and Mycoplasma genitalium in 8, and Chlamydia trachomatis in 6, that is 6.38% samples. Additionally, a test for antibiotic susceptibility for the identified pathogen was conducted using commonly prescribed antibiotics like tetracycline, ceftriaxone, azithromycin, ciprofloxacin, levofloxacin, cefixime, erythromycin, doxycycline, ofloxacin. In culture-based detection, Neisseria gonorrhea was the most commonly identified pathogen. Out of the 182 Neisseria gonorrhea positive samples, 62.63% showed multi-drug resistance. This is concerning as gonorrhea is already a known pathogen with increasing antibiotic resistance globally. Uriplasma species were present in about 70% of the positive samples with high MDR rate, that is 62.33%. Though Mycoplasma species were the least prevalent among the three, the MDR rate is extremely high, that is 91.78%. This indicates that nearly all the Mycoplasma infections in this study are resistant to multiple antibiotics, posing a significant treatment challenge. We further evaluated the combined efficacy of various antibiotics against the selected bacterial isolates. A combination of doxycycline and ceftriaxone produced a 13 mm zone of inhibition at a concentration of 150 microgram against Neisseria gonorrhea. Tetracycline combined with azithromycin exhibited a 17 mm zone of inhibition against Uriplasma species, while the combination of doxycycline and azithromycin resulted in a 20 mm zone of inhibition against Mycoplasma species. Therefore, the use of these antibiotics in combinations could lead to a more effective treatment against the identified bacterial strains. The data of the prevalent pathogens and antibiotic susceptibility tests were also shared with the clinicians in District Hospital Anuppur and Medical College Shahdoll to facilitate the use of appropriate antibiotics for effective treatment of the patients. We also conducted a training program for the nurses at Community Health Center Kotma. For mass awareness about causes, mode of transmission and prevention of spread of STDs in local population, we conducted 7 awareness programs in different villages of District Anuppur. A total of 414 women participated in these awareness programs. We also conducted 21 door-to-door visits in which approximately 226 women got information about the sexually transmitted infections. A feedback form was designed and filled out by the beneficiary. Analysis of the responses indicated that prior to the awareness program, nearly all participants, close to 100%, had no knowledge or awareness of sexually transmitted infections. Following the program, there was a notable improvement in their understanding. with participants gaining comprehensive knowledge about STIs. Additionally, there was a significant rise in the number of individuals proactively seeking healthcare services, including regular checkups and timely medical treatment from hospitals and healthcare providers.
वैशाली दीदी ने आकर मुझे अभियान के बारे में बताया, यौन संबंध के लक्षणों के बारे में, और मैं इस चीज़ से पीड़ित थी। फिर मुझे ले जाकर उप स्वास्थ्य केंद्र में मेरी जांच करवाई। जांच करवाने के बाद मेरे दवा चलने के बाद मैं अच्छी हूँ और मैं पूरा समय पर दवा ले रही हूँ।
यहाँ जागरूकता कार्यक्रम में आई तो आपको क्या क्या लाभ हुए? आप क्या क्या चीज़ें सीखी? हर प्रकार की बीमारी के बारे से बताए थे, तो उसको गांव में जाके हम बताएंगे।
प्राणी विज्ञान विभाग के प्रोफेसर पूनम शर्मा द्वारा उनके लैब इन्फेक्शन बायोलॉजी और मॉड्यूलर रिप्रोडक्टिव टॉक्सिकोलॉजी में DST-SEED भारत सरकार द्वारा प्राप्त एक विशेष शोध कार्य किया जा रहा है। इस परियोजना में वैशाली जो कि फील्ड वर्कर के रूप में कार्यरत है, प्रत्येक बुधवार को जिला चिकित्सालय अनूपपुर आती है और सेक्सुअली ट्रांसमिटेड इन्फेक्शन से ग्रसित महिलाओं का परीक्षण करती है ना। सेक्सुअली ट्रांसमिटेड इन्फेक्शन से ग्रसित महिलाओं का एंडोसर्वाइकल वजाइनल स्वैब सैंपल मेरी उपस्थिति में लेती है। सैंपल को इंडिया अमरकंटक ले जाया जाता है, जहां लैब में सैंपल की एनालिसिस STI पैथोजन के लिए की जाती है। इसी के साथ एंटीबायोटिक सेंसिटिविटी प्रोफाइल की डिटेल्स निर्धारित रूप से शेयर की जाती है। हम रिपोर्ट के आधार पर एप्रोप्रिएट एंटीबायोटिक पेशेंट को प्रोवाइड करते हैं।
Additionally, we provided hands-on training to undergraduates, postgraduates, and PhD students on various microbiological techniques. These included the preparation of different bacterial culture media, swab sample streaking, incubation, bacterial isolation, subculturing, colony morphology studies, biochemical testing, gram staining, antibiotic susceptibility testing using the disk diffusion method, bacterial genomic DNA isolation, and multiplex real-time PCR amplification using the Quant Studio 5 real-time thermocycler. The findings of the research has been published in 3 peer-reviewed Scopus Index journals: Journal of Pharmacopuncture, Journal of Pure and Applied Microbiology, and Asian Journal of Biological and Life Sciences. Additionally, the work was presented in both poster and oral formats at the 64th AMI International Conference held at Bundelkhand University, Jhansi, and at the 65th AMI Annual International Conference hosted by Guru Jambeshwar, University of Science and Technology, Hisar. With these outcomes, this project has been extremely beneficial in translating the laboratory findings to the local population for their health benefits. I am grateful to DST-SEED for supporting research projects that benefit local communities. Thank you.